I'm just waiting for you to go live on Facebook, Rob, so I can share it out.
We're live.
We're live. That's Kids Bop.
You got Kids Bop?
I got Kids Bop on.
Nice. Steve, I can't see your video. I guess you're not on the page, are you?
Where'd Steve go?
Ooh.
I'm okay leaving the carbine in on position. I might start it just to, I don't want the battery to go.
Just turn the car on.
Huh?
Turn the car on. It ain't gonna make
I know, I'm
that
going
much.
to run.
Yeah. These motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, I have to wear my seatbelt then so we don't ding, ding, ding.
Hi, Rob.
Hello.
You're live, Beth. You're on air.
No, I don't want to be on.
Well, you just said hi.
Where the fuck did Steve go?
I don't know. He's not with me at Irish Dance, I'll tell you that. There he is.
He's back.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
I had to go share it out on the book, man. I'm still learning how this whole StreamYard thing works.
Right. You click on something and it goes and you go away.
Yeah, it's craziness.
Yes.
I got to get a better setup. How are we today?
We're good, man. We're good. Week one was very worked out very nicely for some of us.
Yeah. Listen, I went 0-2 in my leagues. I'm not happy the way it went down. See why? I thought what you did was wrong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you listened to the show last week, I actually liked your team a lot more than I liked mine.
You did like my team a lot more. You're right. You did. And you know what? You were right. It worked out. It worked out that week.
So we don't talk about the bad. We only talk about the good. So I had a good week last week.
Wow, dude, that was a radio call. Like, what the hell? Who are you becoming?
Listen, I'm trying to do work, son.
That's right.
I will say this: if you listened last week for the anytime touchdown segment, and you took my picks, you won money. I'll give you that.
Oh, you won money if you didn't play them all in the same one.
It's because you're greedy, man. You don't go all four in one parlay, dude.
Yes,
Correct.
you did.
No, you don't.
No, if you go one by one on that, you crushed it.
Or even if you go like 2, 2, 2, you know what I mean? You're gonna get something.
Listen, Emmanuel Sanders was plus 260, Jack Doyle plus 220, Greg Olson. Let me finish.
Didn't score, and Jack
Yeah, I know.
Doyle's
Let me
not playing
finish.
this week now either.
Let me finish. So, TY, do the math on this real quick. If you went Emmanuel Sanders plus 260, we're going to do these one by one, right? Bet 100 units on each one.
Right.
Emmanuel Sanders plus 260. Where are we at?
We're plus 260, Steve. That one was
See?
Thanks for giving me the layup to start the morning.
You got it. And then if we went Greg Olson, who was plus 390.
Yep. So we're at 650.
And then we went Cam Newton, who was plus 240.
Cam Newton was a layup.
I already forget where I was before. So we're at like 800 right now.
Right, and then you subtract the 220, or the 100 that you lost on the Jack Doyle bet, and you won $700.
All right, so listen, me and Tom spoke last week, and we're done with the bullshit. So we're taking Mark Andrews every week to score 2 touchdowns.
Seriously, we talked about it. I text Rob on Thursday night, and I was like, there's no reason that we mess around with all this nonsense. Like, Nick Chubb is the guy to bet to score a touchdown in Cleveland, and don't worry about anything else. I loaded up on Chubb. I did Chubb over in carries, over in yards. I just kept going Chubb.
You had the Chubbs all night.
I had Chubbs all night long.
Whoa.
So, listen, I'm big on Chubbs. I've got Chubbs in both of my both leagues. I also got Mel Gordon in both leagues too. So
which works out now with Philip Lindsay's turf toe.
Yeah, I think let's start off there for the show this week. I want Rob to just express his dismay. 2 big injuries that came out of last week's games. Michael Thomas is going to be gone for a couple weeks, and Blake Jarwin if you had the tight end from Dallas, which a lot of people did. He was in a lot of leagues. Rob, you had both of them in your league. So I just want to start off by saying I'm sorry. I want to say that I have extra tight ends. I have extra wide receivers.
Right.
If you need any help from me whatsoever,
Well, I mean,
I'll be gentle
for this week. I don't think it was too bad to have Tyler Boyd play and catch a touchdown with like 40 seconds left.
Yeah.
Garbage time. But listen, it's still in.
It's interesting. Did you draft Tyler Boyd in our league, Rob?
Yeah.
So Tyler Boyd is available in our other league. And I feel like people after week 1 were just like, I got to move on. I got to find somebody else. I think he's available.
Yeah, it's a week 1 panic. He just got dropped for, I think Malcolm Brown maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's a good swap. Malcolm Brown looked really good. I picked him up in one league.
Yeah.
I got outbidded in our league. Ty, I think what's our budget? 200.
200, yeah.
Yeah, my man went 160.
130, right, Gino? 130 on Malcolm Brown. I almost fell off the chair when I read it.
I actually think it was 160. Ty.
Real well, he's all in, I guess.
He flat out said, "I'm all in."
A guy that could lose his job to Cam Akers soon.
I don't think he's going to lose his job to Cam Akers, right?
It's just going to be a committee all year. That's the problem. Like it's 2 guys definitely.
Yeah. So here's where I'm at week 2, 1.1 if you count Thursday night's game. Because there's no preseason, there's no build-up where coaches can sour on players. Where a guy will come out there and the coach will just go, this kid just doesn't have it. They're like basing this off of something that we're not accustomed to.
Right.
Like, for all intents and purposes, Rob, you're right. Cam Akers should be the starting back for the Rams. But Malcolm Brown got all the carries.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because Akers ran like a rookie last week. He ran dead into the line instead of being a little bit patient and waiting for something to develop. He just went right at it. And that, like you said, from a preseason standpoint, that's run between A, B gap, and that's it, and that's what he did.
And that's the difference between him being the starting running back by week 6 and not. I mean, like those 4 games you get in the preseason where you get to see in camp and stuff like that, it's just a totally different feel right now. Do you know what I mean? For everybody. Sure. It was good football for what it's worth.
Yeah, it wasn't. It actually was probably better week 1 than you've had in a long time.
I mean, the refs got their rocks off with all these offensive pass interference calls, but that's a whole other ball game.
There was a call in that Cleveland game on Thursday night on the left tackle or something, and they called unsportsmanlike conduct or something. Bro, he just stood he walked up to the line and just stood there, and the guy ran into him, and they called 15 yards on him. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Listen.
And apparently the guy who does it in the background, their rules official they have in the booth.
Yeah.
That's a great call. He's like, that's what the league is trying to protect. And he's like, he was out of the box, came back into the play. It was like, what? Really?
Well, listen, I like having that analysis from that ref that stands by because we're watching it and we're like, that's not right. And then someone's coming in saying it is or it isn't. So that helps.
I like the addition. I mean, I think we're 3 years into it where they all took ex rules and head of officials like Dean Blandino and what's the other guy's name that's on Fox?
I keep having Mike Florio in my mind.
Mike Florio's, and I think that might be it.
I don't know if that's right. Okay.
No, you got it's an old ref.
Yeah, but just having the both of them in the booth to explain what they're seeing and how they interpret shit, because I think that sometimes the analysts and sometimes the color commentators, I don't think they understand the rule.
Yeah.
They're basing it off of information that they got from somebody else because they're not in those meetings. They're not those committee meetings where they're making the decisions.
Yeah.
And the interpretations of the rules is what pisses fans off. Obviously, the big one that gets everybody is what's a catch, what's not a catch. Right? We're not in those meetings. We don't know what they're using to determine, what parameter. What's the guideline, right? We're going off of the letter of the law, but we don't know that they're not told, hey, these are situations that are going to come up, and this is how you handle it,
Yeah, it's the eye test for us. That's
right. So. Well, speaking of the eye test, Rob, let's get started this week with you, and we'll go right into quarterbacks.
Okay. My starts for the week is definitely Josh Allen. I think you have to start Josh Allen as your quarterback until basically he gets the points.
Okay.
One of my first calls, and he's playing Miami this week in Miami, so there's no weather conditions. There's nothing else to think about there. I think he just start absolutely. I also think Aaron Rodgers.
After 4 touchdowns. Oh yeah.
As long as Devontae Adams is healthy, I think you have to start. You have to start Rodgers every week too. Yeah.
All right.
My sits for the week are actually Wentz, Matt Ryan.
You guys hate Matt Ryan.
I was wrong on Matt Ryan last week.
And Drew Brees.
Oh,
Oof.
why are you sitting Drew Brees against New Orleans? What's your thinking there?
Well, I mean, he can't play against his own
Las
team.
Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas.
What?
I mean,
Because no Michael Thomas, dude. He don't know how to play without him. What's he gonna do? They're gonna hand the ball off.
he's had a pretty long career before Michael
They're
Thomas.
gonna hand the ball off to.
Guy was a
That
Hall
guy's-
of Famer before.
They're
Michael
gonna
Thomas
run the
got
ball
it.
so much, dude. It's not.
All right.
I'll put it to you this way: if you're still playing Drew Brees, you're down by 25 points going into Monday night. Good luck, because I don't think you're getting it.
All right. We'll see. I would ask you. I'm going to go on another level and ask you why you're sitting Matt Ryan. Did you see that defense last week?
So what?
They can't stop anybody.
That's his feel. You can't knock a guy for sitting somebody just because you don't like him, Ty.
No. It's not a not like thing. I'm just asking a question because in fantasy versus real world, the garbage points. You saw that with Burrow the other night.
Is this a Penn Charter thing?
No, I didn't go to Penn Chart. I mean, I have Matt Ryan in a league. So
That's
maybe
because
it's
it sounds personal with you right now.
I have Julio in a league. Maybe it's that.
That's probably one of the two.
Again, too.
Huh?
Julio's banged up again too.
He's not banged
Already.
up. Listen, dude, they're putting all the veterans on the injury list every week so that they can get a day or two off. These guys aren't banged up. Julio Jones has had a hamstring issue for 7 years in a row.
Every week.
It
I
just
know.
doesn't
And
heal.
he'll be in a walking boot next week because we know the walking boot's the new thing in the NFL. They just put a guy in a boot so he doesn't have to do anything.
I like it.
Yeah.
Ty, you go next. I want to put a little distance between me and Rob.
I agree with Rob on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Based on how Cam Newton ran against Miami last week, and Allen's same type player as a rushing quarterback. I got Phillip Rivers as a start this week. I mean, the Vikings are just awful. So I think it's just going to dictate the game and Captain dump off Rivers. He's going to get the yard. He's going to get and I got Danny Dimes as a start this week. Daniel Jones looked good on Monday night, man.
That's personal too.
That might be a little personal.
It's a lot personal.
But the offense looked crisp, according to me. They can't run the ball, so they're going to have to throw it.
I grabbed Slayton in another league.
Yeah. And then on the sit side, I have Garoppolo as a sit. Every wide receiver on their team's hurt. No Kittle, according to Shanahan. He already said Kittle's out, but, I mean, I guess that could change. And they just signed Mohamed Sanu off the street. Shanahan's familiar with him, but Garoppolo's not. And they're going to have Tevin Coleman back this week because you don't have to worry about the sickle cell trait, not in Denver anymore. They're going to use him, McKinnon, and Mosley and just run the ball as much as they can. I mean, they're playing the Jets. Just get through the week.
I went with it's interesting, you guys. I think we're consensus. I don't think we are. We are consensus on Allen. 3 total touchdowns, 2 in the air last week, 1 on the ground. You're right. Totally the same kind of player as Cam. That's good analysis by you, Ty. Rob, I think you just got lucky. I just think you
there's
got
a
lucky.
small difference, but we all know what that is.
Yeah. I think I definitely like Allen, though, so that's good that we're all on the same page there. I too went Rodgers versus Detroit because exactly what Ty said. 4 touchdowns last week. I guess I'm off the scorched earth theory with him. I have to be after he threw 4 touchdowns.
Right.
Because, I mean, like, what direction is he going to go in? It's either you're going to get Captain America or you're going to get fucking the villain in every movie you've ever seen, right? Like, it's one or the other. And I think he's going to go out there and just play and just show that he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he's not going to get usurped by some rook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little personal for him too, right? When they
Yeah, but
drafted him, like he's like, "You're drafting a quarterback in the first round instead of getting me. I'll show you. I'm gonna go out and
there's
throw the
two
ball."
different kinds of players, though. If you do that and you're like Aaron Rodgers, who just sat there on the bench and didn't say a word, but Brett Favre was, you know, pissy and moany for 2 seasons. You know what I mean? I'm not training
Yeah.
this guy. I'm not going to help him. And then you've got where Rodgers is on the flip side now. And maybe that's just from experience. He's looking at it and going, I don't want to look like an asshole in the media, so I'm going to handle it this way, you know?
Right.
Just play better.
Yeah. And then my final start would be Dak versus Atlanta. I don't believe in Atlanta's defense. I said it last week.
Yeah.
I'll say it again this week. I think coming off the game against the Rams, I thought that Dallas wanted to do a lot of stuff that they couldn't. I think Jarwin going down and then not being prepared for that part of it kind of changed things. And it's tough. The Rams are a good defense. You got Jalen Ramsey. You've got probably top 2 or 3 cornerback. You have top 2 or 3 D end rushing at you. So it's a hard measuring stick to go off of. I just think that the Dallas offense is really good. And I think this week we'll get to see that.
Yeah, they didn't play great last week. I mean, it's preseason technically for everybody. It was week 1, so can't overreact.
My sits, I too have Carson sitting against the Rams until we get a little more stability on that offensive line from the Eagles' perspective, and they just show that they can block somebody. I can't roll with Carson. It's too tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because of his injury concerns, and if he keeps winding up on his back, it's going to be a problem for him. And I'm also sitting Kyler Murray versus Washington.
Really?
Yeah, because I know that his strength is being able to extend the play, but Washington's front line is legit. It's the truth.
Yeah, but did Washington's front line look good because the Eagles' offensive line was that bad?
I don't know if you've seen Arizona. Arizona's offensive line. I know that they put it.
Yeah, I'm just saying is Washington's. Are you jumping Washington's D line too quick?
No, I'm basing this off of Arizona's O line.
Okay,
not just Washington's D line. I know that Arizona went out there this season and they put a strong emphasis in trying to build up their offensive line because they knew it was trash last year.
Yeah,
and you put 4 guys that are former number 1 picks. That front line is legit. It's probably the best front line in football. Ty?
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
And,
it's going to make their safeties and their cornerbacks.
He's fast enough to run around a little bit, but I think they are good. I don't know that last week was a mirage for them. It's the back end that's the problem for them.
I think that as a result of that, it helps your secondary. It helps your middle of the field. I don't trust Arizona's run game. I know that there's some people out there that like Kenyon Drake. I'm lukewarm on him at best, right? Like, it's not. So it's going to be Kyler Murray trying to throw for the win. And if he's running for his life the whole game, I just don't like that scenario.
Right.
All right.
So that's my set. Ty, why don't you start running backs?
Running backs, I'll give you my 3 starts, and then I'll give a little explanation why afterwards. So I have Montgomery in Chicago. I have Jonathan Taylor in Indy, and I have Latavius Murray on Monday night for the Saints. Montgomery's basically based on what Benny Snell did last week against the Giants. He came in not as a starter. Montgomery was a little banged up. I believe the Bears are going to want to run the ball and get him involved. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 100 yards and a touchdown this week. Taylor in Indy, Marlon Mack going down. This guy's top 10 the rest of the year. It just opened everything up for him. The important thing with him is he caught the ball last week. They were more concerned about that than anything. From a fantasy standpoint, he had 6 catches on 6 targets. So, that just elevates everything. And Latavius Murray goes a little bit hand in hand with what Rob said earlier, with the feel that the Saints are just going to try to establish the run more. Mm-hmm. They don't use Kamara as much as a running back, So Murray's going to get some play.
Running through the holes.
Yeah, Murray's going to get some play. And if your theory is right, Rob, about Breeze without Michael Thomas this week, that only ups the ante for Murray getting some points. For sits for me, I don't want to play anyone on Pittsburgh. I know I just said Benny Snell had a good week last week, but now James Conner's a full practice. So you don't know what's going to happen. And I just don't feel comfortable if Connor plays and you start him and he gets 5 carries and comes out, you're hosed. If Connor doesn't come out, you're hosed for playing Snell. Frank Gore takes over for Lev Bell in New York. Oh, God. No, please, no more Frank Gore. I just can't have it. Don't play him.
Dude,
and I don't like Sony Michel tonight against against Seattle. Same scenario. 3 running backs. They each had 30% of the workload last week between Burkhead, Michelle, and the third guy's escaping me. I'm sorry. I don't think it was Harris, but anyway, it was 3 guys. They split up too much. That's too much of a share for me.
Rob?
I got Jonathan Taylor everywhere because Minnesota gave up 4.96 yards per carry against last week. And I think that's only going to continue. So especially with Indy, if they focus on it, kind of goes with Tom, how he said start Phillip Rivers. Like, I think they're going to do everything they can with their running backs in Indy. And also with Baltimore, I don't know if you have both. I think I would start both. I mean, I got J.K. Dobbins down, but I mean, Mark Ingram, I think, is also a play this week because I think they're going to go back to him. Like, they didn't really use him much last week. So I think they go back to him this week. And also, I have Kamara on Monday night, too. Like, this is a must start. Fuck. Sorry. And also, I have sit both any running back from Denver. You got Lindsey.
Well, there's only one now.
Well, Lindsey's hurt, and you got Gordon, but I don't like him. So,
all right, it's only one.
I'll just keep throwing it up.
Yeah, Steve's got Melvin Gordon in his bedroom, not only on his fantasy team.
Correct.
Everywhere.
It's an uncomfortable love affair.
Yeah, I know.
I hate to say it. Like, sometimes you just get really lucky and things work out for you, and sometimes they don't. Me getting Marlon Mack and what I thought was going to be value for the first few weeks and then him going down in week 1. I mean, obviously bad luck. And then I drafted Phillip Lindsay just as a handcuff. And it's like, oh, he's down now? Cool. I didn't lose anything by drafting him so late. And just having, Mel's going to be huge.
Right.
Well,
Dave
that could carry me right now.
James White's the 3rd running back in New England. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate the help there.
Yeah.
I got you, Rob.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle Allen, you good? I'm good, man. I hope you're good. That's my boy. My starts, I went chalk this week. I didn't have a good week last week. It wasn't great. So I went Zeke for the obvious reasons that we talked about, Atlanta not having a good defense.
I love this guy. Zeke.
What?
Oh, really? People should play Zeke this week? You think so?
Listen, my theory is it's everybody gets to eat. Just because you have Zeke, you might not know. Should I play Zeke this week or not?
Yo, I'm getting that tattoo, dude. That thing is sweet.
Which one?
The Feed Me tattoo.
Oh. I am going Hunter. I'm going Henry versus Jacksonville.
Okay.
What the hell was up with Jacksonville last week? Like, I can't bet against a team. Yeah, I can't bet against a team that I think is just straight up trash. They literally picked up a guy from a semi-pro team and told him, "Don't shave your mustache; it'll look good on TV." And now he's Minshew mania, dude. I can't figure them out, but I'm gonna go Henry against them anyway. And then for the same reason you guys are talking
31
about,
carries last week, so gets the ball.
Yeah. And then I'm going the other way. I'm going Kamara. I'm thinking more in lines of PPR. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamara catches 8 balls this week. So without Michael Thomas there, it's going to open up a receiver spot. So I could see them playing Kamara in some slot situations, moving him around in the backfield with Latavius Murray on the field too. Instead of splitting it up, you know what I'm saying? Instead of changing carries, you could see them on the field a lot more together. And as a result, I think we both win in that scenario, T.Y., with our picks.
So we got a question here real quick. Bob Hartnett says, Kittle is hurt in my league. Who should I pick up? Well, Bob, unfortunately, we don't know who's available.
Yeah, who's available?
But
you got
to give us some.
Bob.
Yeah.
Give us a couple names, and we'll come back and answer it.
I mean, honestly, it's a tight end position. Just pick somebody like
Jimmy Graham.
So here's my guess.
Greg Olsen.
Here's
O.J.
my guess.
Howard, Kyle Rudolph.
No. Here's my guess. You're either in a 10-man league or a 12-man league, which means that from a tight end standpoint, you could have no more than 2 on your team. You're looking at possibly 20 or 24. So there's 6 guys that are starting tight ends, 6 to 10 guys that you could look from. Any one of them is going to be the same. After the top 3 tight end guys, the drop-off is so significant. You're not in a good position no matter what you do, man.
Maybe like Jordan Akins from Houston.
Well, I was going to say, if he's in a 10-team league, someone like our league, we have 2, right? And I have Jonnu Smith and Noah Fant.
Mm-hmm.
One of those 2 may be available if you don't have to carry 2 in the league, you know?
I don't think Fant's available in any leagues.
Well, Jonnu Smith might be.
Probably.
Shouldn't be, but he will be.
He probably will be.
Give us a couple names, Bob, and then we'll come back and answer.
Yeah. Dave Robbins needs to stop taking shots at me. My sits this week. I was about to compliment him on something, and now I'm on the side about it. My sits this week, I'm sitting Miles Sanders. Didn't play week 1. I don't know if it was precautionary because they thought that they were going to steamroll Washington and just give him an extra week or what. I want to see him for a week before I make any determination on the dude. And I'm sitting Cam Akers after what happened with the last week. You were up big in that game. You were up in that game, period. It would have been a good opportunity to get him some work in, and they still didn't even try to do that. They stuck with Malcolm Brown even when they didn't have to. So for that reason, I'm out on Akers too.
Damn, I'm trying to drop right now.
And I know you would share the drop. A little kudos to Dave Robbins. This is one of those things, again, where you make a tough decision late in the draft and it works out for you. He drafted Devontae Freeman specifically thinking, hey, if a team has a running back go down in week 1, I'll have an opportunity to have a guy already in there and I don't have to fight with him on the waiver wire. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, the Eagles are bringing in Devontae Freeman for a physical and for a workout, rather, and they're going to take a look at him.
Right.
As a change of pace back between Miles Sanders and Devontae Freeman, I think it's a good situation for everybody involved. It might wind up being something late in the season that you can get some usage out of. So kudos to Dave on that one.
How's that make you feel as a Miles Sanders owner?
Not concerned. Okay. I would say that unless Miles Sanders has an injury, Devontae Freeman's not going to dig into his carries. But I think the Eagles recognize right now that you can't go into a game with Boston Scott as your starting running back. That's poor management all the way around. You know what I mean? You could pick up a guy off the street who's going to give you more. Listen, you're 100% right on the offensive line, but you could have found 1,000 guys that are a better option to start than Boston Scott. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the play calling and the script from last week had a lot to do with what happened with the Eagles. I think Bob, it was just one of those that they felt they would walk over Washington. And didn't.
Bob said he's got Herndon, Reed, Graham, Logan Thomas, and then my guy, Eric Ebron. I would pick up Ebron.
Ebron all the way. Don't even wait. Get him now.
Yeah, he shouldn't be available in your league.
Ebron's going to be a monster.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people in Pittsburgh are concerned because it's a 2 tight end set.
You don't need to ask me that question. Everybody that's listening to us.
I know you love him. Everybody's concerned in Pittsburgh because of the Vance McDonald and Eric Ebron split. Like, how much time is he going to get? How many snaps? So on and so forth. So I'll explain it. This is the way that I interpret it. Vance McDonald is more of a possession, short yardage tight end kind of guy. Eric Ebron is going to be your downfield tight end. Fair?
Yeah. Well, sure.
That's how I interpret it. He's just got better wheels. So, Olsen's available. OJ Howard. What is there? 4 guys in this league, Bob? Go pick up Olsen, dude. If you have to choose between Olsen and Ebron, pick him up.
Howard, Ebron, like get Ebron.
Well, he's got Greg Olson's available too. I'd go pick up Olsen. You know?
Yeah.
At any rate.
I would go if it's only for 1 week though. I would go. I think Ebron has a big week this week. That's just me. So.
TY, looks like you froze up there a bit. Did you hear the other players that were available?
My thing completely fell off. So
You fell
I'm
off.
still on Ebron. I don't need to hear anybody else. It's Ebron.
Well, he's got Olsen
Ebron
available
for
too.
Ebron still.
Oh, interesting.
That's a tough matchup tonight against New England, man.
Yeah. Let's move into wide receivers. I'm going to start off this one. I like Thielen versus Indianapolis.
I got that.
2 touchdowns last week. He's not sharing targets with Diggs anymore. He's the guy there. There's no reason to expect he wouldn't get at least 10 targets in that game, and whatever happens, happens. So I like Thielen in that game. Devontae Adams versus Detroit. Detroit has no secondary again. I think Adams has 2 touchdowns in that game. And I hate this. Pains me to say it because Ty staring right at me. I'm going to take Allen Robinson versus the Giants. Again, no secondary. My sits, I would sit Robert Woods versus the Eagles. He's going to have Slay on him all day. I think this is a Cooper Cup week if you're going back and forth between the 2 of them. And I don't like Chark versus Tennessee either. So those are my sits. Rob?
I got Thielen playing. I like Amari Cooper. And I would sit Terry McLaurin. I wouldn't even think about playing that guy. I agree with you with Robert Woods. And, I mean, I'm unsure of the Saints right now. Because, do you play Emmanuel Sanders because Thomas is out? What do you do?
I think you do.
I just don't see that being a.
I do.
That's a weird matchup to me. Is the Saints game? So.
Yeah.
The Eagles game. I don't play any wide receivers. I really, as weird as this sounds, I think they missed the shit out of Alshon. You know.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't play anyone there. I wouldn't even play anyone in either side of the ball there. It's just so unsure what's going on. Dallas play Cooper, of course. Green Bay play Adams, of course. You know, the choice. So that's what I got. Tom?
All right, so can you hear me?
Yeah,
Because I look like I'm frozen.
you are, but we can hear you.
Okay. I'm on Emmanuel Sanders this week. I know it sounds like Rob. It doesn't sound like you are. I dropped one of my favorite wide receivers of all time in Keenan Allen to pick him up. And
I saw that.
I'm banking on Michael Thomas missing a month.
Yeah, can you guys finish the show?
Sanders being in a better offense.
Can you guys finish the show without me? I got to go do something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keenan Allen's available, right?
You're really going to
He's on waivers.
Here, I'll just take care of it for you. Who do you want to drop?
No, we're good. We're good. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Can you guys just finish this while I
I'm
can take
just
care
looking
of
at better
something?
quarterback. The
What's
number
that, Tom?
one. Yeah, go ahead. Go pick him up. I should have traded you, I guess.
He's not available yet.
So I like
until
Sanders
tomorrow.
this week. I like Hollywood Brown too. And did you hear me? Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we heard you.
His mama called him Marquise. I'm going to call him Marquise.
All right. So from a sit standpoint, everyone's on Corey Davis after week 1 with the other Brown
AJ Brown
being out. I'm not on Corey Davis. Don't fall for this. This guy's many years been in the league, many years disappointed. I'm sitting him this week. And Steve, I'm on the other side of the Allen Robinson. He's pissed off that he didn't get a contract yet, and he's watching all these wide receivers get paid.
Mhm.
I got him as a sit this week because I just think it's not going to be. It's not
Right.
going to
So
be.
think of
pretty.
it. Think of it from the flip
Miller's
side.
the wide receiver that's
Yeah.
getting the action there.
Think of it
Dave
from the flip
Robinson.
side. If you're Robinson and you know you're not going to get a contract, what's your next move? It's to force a trade. How do you force a trade? By going out there and increasing your value. And it's not like Chicago doesn't have the desire to try to pick up some extra equity in players and draft, because they're not winning anything this year or probably next. So I get where you're coming from, being pissed off about not getting a contract, but we go back to the Aaron Rodgers thing. Like, is it scorched earth, or is it going to be, I'm going to go out there and ball out and try to force your hand? You know? I think we lost TY.
Is he back?
He's back.
Trying, man.
No, you're good.
I don't know. I'm in this thing good for a half hour, and once I hit 30, I fall off.
Story of your life, right?
So I heard you talking a little bit. Yeah, I heard you talking about it a little bit. You could go one of two ways with Robinson. He's either going to play well and force a trade, or he's going to pout, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going on
You
the
lean
pout.
pout, I lean
pissed. I think he's
trade.
going to pout this week.
I think Chicago could try to move him.
Listen, I hope
No
you're
problem.
right.
Yeah. Just a theory.
If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, would you trade him for one of the tight for Ertz?
No,
No.
not for Ertz.
I think Ertz gets
I'm gonna trade
moved.
Goddard for him. So.
Well, no, I think Goddard's your player of the future.
Listen,
But
if you guys want to talk about Ertz being traded, I think the Eagles missed the mark. If the trade market for him was last offseason, now anything you trade him for isn't going to be like great value for you. It's just my opinion on that.
yeah, I could see him getting moved in the offseason for some picks
But I
or
think
something.
that they should have traded him all season, like I said, after the season. Like, trade him now before you get into this contract negotiation shit where guys like Kittle, who's younger, and Kelsey, who's a little bit younger but better, like, before these guys get paid, this guy's like, yo, I want that.
Yeah.
Just, it ain't worth it to your team, So, just my opinion.
Yeah.
Fair. Let's go quick round robin for miscellaneous stuff. We talk flex. We talk defenses. TY, if there's a kicker you like, because I know that's a big thing with you. My miscellaneous flex spots this week. I like Malcolm Brown versus the Eagles. I just feel like they're not going to have a problem moving the ball, and they should. But I think Brown gets in. I'm not saying, he's going to get 100 yards, but I think he might get 2 scores against the Eagles. Aaron Jones versus Detroit. Didn't show up all that much last week. I know that you're not a big believer in him at all, TY. But I don't know. I like him this week against Detroit. And I love Emmanuel Sanders this week against Vegas. I think his target's going to increase. And I think that he's gonna put up some numbers this week. I think he gets over 100 and a touchdown easy.
Nice. I love that. I love that noise.
Yeah. It pains me to say it.
Listen, don't you have to look at him the same way? So when he got traded to San Francisco last year, he lit it up with Garoppolo at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Breeze is better than Garoppolo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrong there.
Yeah, I mean,
So
everything about that situation.
If he's the guy.
Yeah, everything about that
Good
situation.
fit.
He was brought in in New Orleans to be a replacement for Kenny Stills. To be a downfield guy for them to, come across the middle, whatever. But he's an upgrade from Kenny Stills. And there's no reason that he shouldn't be a better than average number 2 for them with Michael Thomas. And he's a low end 1 for them. You know what I mean? Like you said when he was with San Francisco
Especially
last
if
year, he's a guy there. Yeah. He's a low end 1 for them.
Right.
So, F you, Rob.
I'm with you.
Hey, I got I would start Gronk this week. I actually like Ertz. I love Ebron, and I love the Cardinals defense.
Low scoring game in that Washington Arizona game.
I hope not.
I do have
One side.
Emmanuel. I do have Emmanuel Sanders though as a DFS play.
Nice.
You have him where?
DFS. Daily fantasy.
Oh.
Yeah, don't bury the lead, Rob. We'll get
I
there.
got you. I'm sorry.
TY, who's your miscellaneous, your flex, your defense? Who's the kicker that you have to have this week?
Listen, you're not putting my spot. I'll have a kicker ready. But flex-wise, listen, I wouldn't be against putting a Dallas Goedert at a flex position this week. He was heavily targeted last week, and that's a little off the wall, but goes back to the wide receiver situation in Philly. The two tight ends are their leading receivers. So go that route with it. Don't fight it.
Every week, too.
And I also, I kind of went on the tight end tip here. I think you got to play Jared Cook everywhere you have him. This goes to the Michael Thomas being out. The Raiders are not good defensively. They gave up 30 to Carolina last week.
Yeah.
And other than Christian McCaffrey, the Saints have much more weapons. I mean, Robbie Anderson, right, looked like, a star all of a sudden again, and it's just crazy. I just feel that I know you're down on Breeze. It's still going to be there. It's a good matchup for them. The only thing I would worry about is it's in Vegas, new stadium. It's going to be packed with fans. Even if they're not allowed to be there, they're going to force them in,
Did you guys get a chance?
Happens.
Speaking of Robbie Anderson, did you guys get a chance to see his mic'd up where he was talking about the Panther?
No.
So the Carolina Panther was, I guess, up in the stands or up in the crowd or whatever. And he looks up and he goes, "What's up with that bear?" And the guy next to him goes, "It's a panther. That's Sir Puss." He goes, "You guys actually call him that?" It's funny. Go look at it. But he was like, "What's up with the bear?" The dude's like, "It's a panther." It's like, that's who you play for. That's just a dude who's just a mercenary. Just sign my check. I don't really care about anything else involving your organization.
Yeah, right.
Let's hit the FanDuel. TY, you start. Who do you like?
All right, so DFS, I got 4 guys written down right now that I've really keyed on, and I'm probably going to play in the majority of my lineups. Kirk Cousins at 7,400. I like Kyler Murray at 8,000. I like Mostert at 6,500, and I like Jonathan Taylor at 5,800.
Renbro?
I like Paris Campbell, Deontay Johnson, Eric Ebron, Michael Gallup, Emmanuel Sanders, and Jonnu Smith. They're all cheap.
So I go in a little bit of a different angle because we're not on a time frame. So I like Tannehill at 7,000. He's like the 15th or 16th quarterback on the list. Now, I get it. From a scenario of you're probably not going to have Brown this week, it's kind of a hit or miss. And he's throwing to Corey Davis. I'm going based off of his opponent. He's going to put up numbers. It's a guy you've never heard of.
Jonathan, hold on, we got a question here from MathQuest. Jonathan Taylor or Kenyon Drake? Standard scoring, non-PPR.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in Drake at all. And against that Washington front line, I wouldn't touch that. I would go Taylor.
On YouTube.
Yeah, I would go Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, Taylor's probably more of a he probably has a higher ceiling this week. They both have a decent floor, but I'll endorse Taylor.
Rob?
I'm with Taylor.
Very nice. For my FanDuel, I'm actually going to go AP this week. He's 5,500. He's got a really good favorable matchup as far as a defensive front. No reason to think that he can't get 100 and a touchdown. No reason. And at 5,500, you can obviously spread the money. The reason we talk FanDuel and like our FanDuel DFS, the value is because if you get somebody that's really, really cheap, you can unload in other areas. That's the obvious strategy that we talk every week. I like Malcolm Brown too against the Eagles. Obviously, I'm all over that Rams offense against the Eagles this week because I'm down on the Eagles. But Malcolm Brown's only 5,200. That's super cheap for a guy that I think could probably score 2 touchdowns against the Birds. And then Rob Gallup.
2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns.
2?
2.
What's his line for 2? Hold up. I gotta look this up. All right, go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
And then Michael Gallup as well. He's 6,000, and I think that's super cheap. When you look at their 3 receivers, Cooper's obviously the most expensive, and then CD Lamb is actually higher than Michael Gallup. He's going to cost you more,
That's
and
crazy.
I think Gallup's going to have more productivity, right?
Malcolm Brown scored 2 touchdowns plus 1,000.
Well, there you go. I just gave you $1,000. And if you
$5
hit on it, you better buy me lunch.
You have to bet 100 to win.
That's it. Just lunch. Just lunch. Just lunch.
It's lunch, kid.
Okay.
All right.
That's what I like.
What
Let's
else we
go. I'm gonna save. I'm
Final
gonna save.
segment?
No, I'm gonna save that for last. What lines do you guys like this week? I have 4. I'll start off. I like the Bills minus 5.5. I thought they looked good last week, and I think that they're feeling good. They might have a chance to take that division. I like them. I think they're gonna run it up. Minnesota versus Indy. 2 defensive fronted teams, under 49. I like. The Giants versus the Bears. It's over 42.
You know
I think with as bad as what?
What's more confusing about that game is the actual game line minus 5.5 for the Bears.
I think the Bears win the game. I think 5.5 is high. I don't like the hook. Ty knows the hook scares me every time. But over 42, I think is doable. I think that's going to be a higher scoring game because both their defenses suck.
Yeah, there's.
I think that's
this week.
That's 150 yards, 2 touchdowns for Saquon just waking up. Ty loves Danny Dimes in that game. I could see Sterling catching a touchdown. Maybe Slayton gets a touchdown. I'm not so sure that the Giants can't put up numbers on the Bears. And the Bears will score too. And then New Orleans on Monday night minus 5.5. I like that as well.
Okay.
Tom Young.
I'm interested in one bet and one bet only. I'm not going to lie. And it's the over in the Dallas Falcons game. It's the only one I care about. I'm loading up, and that's the game. I'm actually more than $5 on it. Anybody that knows me knows that. That's how
Wow. Did you go? You're going a whole 5 units.
So you know I really love it. All right.
You're going a full 5 credit.
That's it. I'm not. I haven't looked at any other lines. I don't want to waver off of them. That's the one I've been watching all week. That's it.
Here's a line.
Ty, if you bet $5 on that game, how's your child going to eat this week?
I already got PB and J. Right? She can have a strawberry.
With the $9
strawberry and a
that he wins from that game.
1 strawberry cut in half.
Yeah. Now you have enough to get 3 buckets of strawberries, but that's it.
That's funny.
That's how she keeps her girl. That's how she keeps her girlish figure.
I like it. Rob, who do you like this week, lines?
I don't like a lot of the lines because I just think they're too high this week. There's too many 7s and whatever. But one that's real confusing to me is the Niners going on the road to play the Jets -7. I don't like that. You're giving 7.
You think it should be higher?
Huh?
You think it should be higher or lower?
I just think it's confusing, to me. -7 on the road?
It should be 10. It would be 10 if they were home.
Cross country though, like to me, I think that's a take the Jets. Like I think San Fran wins the game. I just don't think they cover. You know, the other one is the Colts -3. Like they're gonna run the ball down the fucking Vikings' throat. You know. So like
Listen, we fell into the Colts trap last week, Rob.
Yep.
The Colts just got beat by Jacksonville.
It's okay. I mean, that's a Phillip Rivers thing to happen. If I've ever seen one. So
Phillip Rivers doesn't feel like he's in a game unless it's fourth quarter and he's down.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to keep himself hyped. No.
It's like that if a tree falls in the wood. It's if Phillip Rivers isn't down in the fourth quarter, did a football game even happen?
Yeah.
Right. What's the over-under for how many minutes it takes him to yell at an official?
3 minutes. It depends on who gets the ball first, but 3 minutes.
At them. He's out on the coin flip, and the coin flip doesn't go his way. He goes bonkers on the head official.
It's not regulation until it makes 7 rotations. That was 6.
What do you think about the Baltimore?
You didn't flip that high enough, you son of a bitch.
What's that, Rob?
It's comical.
Deion Sanders was just named head coach of Jacksonville State.
Prime time?
Tim DeJoseph said 8 seconds for Rivers to yell at the ref.
Yeah.
The over in the Ravens Texans game. It's 50.
What's the number, Rob?
50.
All right. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Dave Robbins said in regards to your Jets situation with the San Fran, he said it's a 1 p.m. game, which means it's a 10 p.m. game or 10 a.m. game for San Fran, and they don't have Kittle. So he's thinking that the circumstances are what's driving that line. That's good analysis by Dave.
That is good analysis. I like the time thought.
Yeah. He put a little extra in
It's
it.
about to get loud in my car. I just want you to know that.
Well, we're going to finish up real quick with your favorite segment, and then you can drop off if you want. Anytime touchdowns, T.Y. Who do you like?
Let me get it quick. All right, so today I talked about some of my starts. Josh Allen, we're going to take anytime touchdown today. We're going to take Hollywood Brown for a big bomb. I'm going to do a stack of both Eagles tight ends. That's how much I love them today. And we're going to go Goddard and Ertz both to score again. And I'm not going to get crazy otherwise. Slow
so what are you
and steady.
7 credits total? 7 credits?
So I'm counting the over as a win in the Atlanta Dallas game already. So I'll probably
You're using the proceeds?
I'll go 10 credits. 10 credits on the anytime touchdowns because I feel like I have that already won.
Somebody's trying to finish his Christmas shopping early.
Yeah, and I had a good Thursday, so I have a little wiggle room this week.
How much did you win on Thursday? $350?
No, dude. Free 5 credit wagers. You do the math. Rob knows the totals. You know?
My man will sometimes hit me and he'll be like,
get loud.
All right.
All right, boys. Thank you.
See you, man. TY will call me up sometimes and he'll go, I've got this bet that I'm in. And I'm like, well, how much are you putting? And he'll give me this like 5-minute dissertation loaded with analysis. And I'll go, how much are you putting on? He goes, it's just a 10-cent bet. It's like, bro, you're investing all that effort into a 10-cent bet? Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I always make fun of him on the
Listen,
numbers.
For the touchdown thing, man, you could parlay one person from each team. Just parlay the chalks. Just stop fucking around. You could parlay them and win some serious cash.
You could do it Rob's way or you could do it my way. So J.K. Dobbins plus 240 today. Eric Ebron plus 275. Michael Gallup plus 180. And Raheem Mostert plus 100. Those are my 4 anytime touchdowns today. For those that are keeping track at home, I went 3 out of 4 last week. If you would have bet with me, you would have about 700 credits.
Take Mark Andrews to get 2. Take him to get 1 at least as well. Lamar Jackson runs one in this week. I do like Eric Ebron. I do like Gallup. I like Kamara Monday night. I like a lot of fucking people this week to score touchdowns. I literally look at my list. These are all people to score touchdowns.
That's a lot, dude. He's got 2 pages. So in doing the research this week, I'm going to tell you what. If I had to predict, this is going to be a ridiculously high-scoring week for everybody.
Seems that way.
It seems like, dude, I liked a lot of stuff today.
Yeah.
I just feel like, listen, if you're in the game, you're in the game. You've got tons of players out there that are going to put up big numbers this week. I would predict that at least 7 guys score multiple touchdowns.
I have a couple I've already put in. Like, I heard you say Thielen. I like Cooper. I like Zeke. I mean, honestly, again.
Yeah.
I had someone else listed too. I like Andrews again. I just do. Like Mark Andrews. I like Derrick Henry to score 2 this week. I even like Jonathan Taylor to score 2 this week.
That's not bad. I dig it.
Yeah. Who else did you have?
My anytime touchdowns?
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins.
Okay. You had Mostert.
I have Mostert, Dobbins, Ebron, and Gallup.
Cool. I'm going to go put that in.
You're killing me, dude. Stop mushing up my bets, bro.
Fuck around.
Stop mushing up my bets, bro.
Eric Ebron's plus 350.
I have him at plus 275. What are you looking on?
I'm on FanDuel.
Yeah. DraftKings had him at plus 275.
DraftKings, you can't parlay them.
Well, there's some value in going back and forth between the 2 sites. If you like our picks,
absolutely, bro.
swing back and forth.
I got money in both. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, that's our show for this week. Be sure to tune in every Saturday at 9 a.m. We'll get you your fantasy fix, get you ready for the week. I think next week we're going to start planning a quick following Thursday segment because I felt bad. I liked a lot of people in that Thursday game, or maybe we can get something out on Wednesday or something, Rob, just to get everybody in the mix.
Okay.
So we'll see you guys all next week. Good luck.
All right.